no fear. Heartbeat racing louder than a gun. 이 순간 난 already won. I'm invincible, nothing can break me. Limitless flow, don't try to chase me. Crash like a wave, wild and free. You move that way, I'm all you see. Invincible, na 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 na. Invincible, na 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 na. 두지 않아.
8 PVL teams have cemented their spot in the quarterfinals. However, for Genierva and the CHERY TIGGO EV crossovers, they are fighting for just a win here and are looking to upset one of the top efficient teams in the PVL, that is Trisha Tubu and the Farm Fresh Foxies, as that is our matchup at hand here in the SM Mall of Asia Arena. One last game for CHERY TIGGO as they face Farm Fresh looking for that #1 seed. PVL fans, thank you so much for joining us, because later we also have another game between PLDT. This team is also looking for that #1 spot as Petrogas is looking to gain some momentum. And for those watching, thank you so much for joining us on One Sports Pilipinas Live right here on Signal TV. My name is Jaime Escalon, and my partner for today, my Fitspiration, Doc AJ Pareja, and of course at courtside we have Althea Franco. Althea, it's giving last school day na naman with Uni Batista's last game.
Yes, it's the last game, and of course they want to graduate with a diploma, and we can expect, I think, a stellar performance from her in this game.
I love that. In their last game, they just want to show out, because even if, Doc AJ, we take a look at the standings, we know that CHERY TIGGO is fighting for pride, but it's Farm Fresh Foxies who are trying to get that #1 spot, because 3 teams ang naglalabanan for that #1 place.
Yes, of course, going into the quarterfinals, ang pinaglalabanan nila dito is the ranking. Of course, you would want to get that top spot to have a relatively lighter match if you're gonna look at it. So, as we can see, set in stone na yung 8 players in our quarterfinals, but it's just really important for Farm Fresh to get that #1 spot. Over on the other side, CHERY EV would want to still at least go out the competition in a high note.
For CHERY EV, this is the first time they are missing a postseason game since 2023. But one of the bright spots has been Mylene Paat, who has recovered from her injury. And I heard she might start today. And Aloy Robbins Hardy, of course. Every game so good. That is how she is performing. But let's talk about with CHERY EV first and what's been happening with Uni Batista, because it's not every day you get to see a foreign player score 40 points. She is part of that short list, Doc AJ, and yun nga, medyo late lang talaga here in the Reinforced Conference.
Yeah, joining the 40-point club, Uni Batista, and as we can see, conference high of 170 points. So she really brings the firepower, her expertise, her experience as one of the veterans, and bringing all that knowledge from outside the Philippines into this conference. She's going out on a high note, but of course, we want to see her really shine in this match still.
You know, Jaime and Doc AJ, it wasn't really an ideal conference for the CHERY TIGGO, but you know, their captain, Abby Mariano, told me that there were still some highlights and some good notes for their games. And that includes, of course, their reinforcement, Uni Batista. You know, she told me a story of when they learned that they were eliminated, the energy was low from their practices. But it was Uni Batista who came to them in a huddle and told them that, yes, we are sad, we are heartbroken, but we have games remaining left and we must play all out. And for this game against the Farm Fresh Foxies, they will play with their hearts out. And speaking of Farm Fresh Foxies, they want to just continue the momentum going to the quarterfinals. And you know, Cesc Molina shared to me that they wanted, the game plan was to be the first in the service. That was what Coach Lodi told them, and they want to continue that. So for this one, as they face the CHERY TIGGO, that's what they do. Heavy service and of course more efficiency from their attacks. And they want to just improve from there going to the quarterfinals. And speaking of improvement, we'll hear more from Jolina De La Cruz and Trisha Tubu as they answer the one big question: can Farm Fresh go past their strong debut?
sunod na conference, akit kami ng isang step pa isa-isa. It takes time talaga.
Kailangan mas may mapuntahan pa tong team na to. Confident naman kami this season and grabe yung tiwala namin sa sistema ngayon. Can the Foxes grow past their strong debut? We know na yung team talagang unti-unting natututo and proseso talaga siya. So, nagtitiwala kami kahit sobrang tagal ng proseso. Pinagkakatiwalaan namin yon and pinagkakatiwalaan namin yung mga coaches na nagtuturo sa amin, especially with Coach Lodi ngayon na sobrang tiwala tayo sa sistema niya ngayon. And we know na talagang yung mga tao may mga expectations sa amin eh. Alam mo yan, Tubes, na parang bakit si Firefresh na tagal-tagal na ganito ba din? Pero itong sistema ni Coach Lodi talagang tumagal sa amin.
It takes time talaga kasi may process. Hindi lang naman yung team namin sa kahit saang larangan siguro. Nandiyan yung process talaga. Hindi mawawala yan. Yun yung kagandahan kasi in-embrace namin lahat yun. Wala kaming tinatapon kasi sobrang importante ng mga failure. Kasi doon kami natututo. Alam namin ano yung mga dapat namin i-correct, ano yung dapat namin simulan ulit sa training.
Grabe yung Doc AG, no? The big question. Parang pang Miss Universe lang. But it is the important question because in franchise history, this is the best start. And now, they have a really good reinforcement in Ellie Rousseau.
Yes, we've seen the conception of Farm Fresh when they started joining the league, and it's high time that now they're considered one of the top seeds and the team to beat in this PVL conference. And as you mentioned, Ellie Rousseau, such a good reinforcement for the Farm Fresh Foxies. Not just with the points, but she is also a major factor in the services and the blocking department, which Ces Molina a while ago was saying that the team is emphasizing on their services. And she is also much a force in the floor, be it in her passing and digging. But as I mentioned, it's expected that she will bring in the points in this match.
And with that, we want to thank you for spending your afternoon here with us in the PVL. And for those catching us on the Pilipinas Live app, we have an exclusive poll question running right below your stream. And we're asking, which reinforcement will deliver a show-stopping performance? Will it be Uni Batista or Ellie Rousseau? Go ahead and answer that poll right below your stream. And for those, everyone watching on other platforms, you can join in on the conversation by using the hashtag PVL2025.
Well, Ate, you know, when you said those names, the first thing I could think of was fireworks. So let the fireworks begin here as the stage is set for the CHERY TIGGO EV crossovers as they face off the Farm Fresh Foxies. That's up next right here in the heart of volleyball.
gentlemen, welcome to the Mall of Asia Arena. This is match number 47 in the PVL Reinforced Conference 2025 between the CHERY TIGGO Crossovers and the Farm Fresh Foxies. Let's now meet the officials for this match. Our first referee, Patrick Castillo, national referee. The second referee is Bobby Celso, national referee. And now the starters. First, for the CHERY TIGGO Crossovers. Middle blocker from De La Salle University, number 2, team captain Abby Maraño. Opposite hitter from Adamson University, number 7, Mylene Pat. Outside spiker from La Salle, number 10, Ara Galang. Center from the University of Santo Tomas, number 11, Alina Bicar. Middle blocker from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 22, Pauline Gaston. Outside spiker from Cuba, number 25, Uni Robles Batista. Starting libero from Adamson, number 15, Karen Verdeflor. And the head coach for CHERY TIGGO is Norman Miguel. And now the starters for the Farm Fresh Foxies. Center from Brigham Young University, number 1, Alohi Robbins Hardy. Outside spiker from San Beda University, number 7, Seth Molina. Middle blocker from Adamson University, number 9, Riza Cruz. Opposite hitter also from Adamson, number 12, Trisha Tubu. Middle blocker also from Adamson, number 18, Honey Toring. Outside spiker from Belgium, number 19, Ellie Rousseau. Starting libero from the University of the Philippines, number 15, Eliza Bertolano. Head coach for Farm Fresh is Alessandro Lodi. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games.
Let's take a look at the starters for the CHERY TIGGO EV Crossovers. This is their final game. And this is the final game of Uni Batista, who's had really good past couple of games, averaging 34 points in the past 2 games. So they're looking to upset the Farm Fresh Foxies here, who has been led by Ellie Rousseau, a world-class talent, and Trisha Tubu as well. She improved even more despite getting some Best Opposite Spiker awards, number 1 in efficiency, as we welcome you to the SM Mall of Asia Arena. But drastically, we have seen the improvement, Doc AJ, of the Farm Fresh Foxies here in this conference.
Yeah, from someone reliable team that is middle of the pack now, they are the top seed. But CHERY TIGGO off to a great start with that service ace from Aragalang.
And Mylene Paat is getting the start. It's been years since we last saw Mylene, Mama P, get the starting nod. Good first ball. Slide. That's something to improve those receptions. We're tied at 1. Molina to serve. Something about Farm Fresh, number 1 in serving, number 4 in receiving. Batista, cross court.
Batista just going above the block of Cruz there for that cross-court kill. Number 6.
Her last 2 games, 41. And then last game, she had 27. Trying to end her campaign here in the Philippines strongly. Rousseau, in the meantime, sends it too long.
Not the best of passes for Rousseau, and that was quite wide. Not much adjustments on the attack.
Little love from the net there for Chang Abi. Paat could not handle the ball.
What a way to fix that scrambled play. Ellie Rousseau with that down the line attack.
2 serving 3. Good first pass by Verdeflor. Mistimed between Bicar and Pauline Gaston.
Set was a little too high for that slide attack by Pongay Gaston.
Bicar, this time to the left pin. Batista is out of bounds.
Set was a little too short on the pin, so Batista had to go for a sharp angle, but overcooks it, unfortunately.
That's the second time now, but this time Riza Cruz gets an ace. Take a look at that one more time. May konting lambing from the net, Doc AJ.
Just clipping. Those are the most frustrating service aces if you're on the opposing side.
They make Paat receive. Bicar the set. Batista elevates. Ball is slowed down. Counter attack for Rousseau. Easily picked up. Back row for Galang.
There was already a miscontact with the set of Bicar. It wasn't on an optimal height for Galang as Coach Norman calls for time.
Good pass tayo, Karen, ha? Good pass tayo.
CHERY!
Coach Norman Miguel. As simple as that, looking for one good pass. But to remind everyone what's at stake here for Farm Fresh. If they win, they're tied with Zeus Coffee at 7-1. And then they'll be watching that PLDT Petrogas game later. Tapos points na ang basehan, Doc AJ. So nothing is set in stone in our final day of the eliminations.
Yeah, just the lineup, the roster of the quarter finalists is set in stone, but their arrangement, their rankings is what these teams are much more concerned with.
Batista. She was asking for a touch. First referee, yes. Says yes.
Scrape the shoulder of Cruz. They're not going to challenge that as CHERY TIGGO stops the bleeding early on.
Misreceived by Molina. Turing. High set for Batista. Tubu says, I'm right here. Back row for Molina. One more time for Uni. Great defense there for Bertolano. Ellie on the move. Good sweep there by Verdeflor. The rally continues. Ellie one more time. Paat from the opposite side. A long exchange here as Mylene Paat scores.
The benefit of being a lefty, he can go for some crazy angles from the right side, and that's what Paat just did. Just going through the gap between Rousseau and Torino.
So nice to see Mylene Paat healthy and ready to go. From the pipe, Tubu. Exceptional digging there for Verdeflor. Joust won by Farm Fresh.
It's always the setter who wins the joust.
starting to see long exchanges now, Doc AJ. May whisper ka kasi sa akin kanina pero huwag na natin batiin. Sharp serve for Alohi. Tubu, favorite move.
A little early on the approach for Trisha, but just enough hang time to go for that power tip down the middle.
We have a technical timeout now. Farm Fresh up by 3.
Welcome back inside the Mall of Asia Arena. You're watching our second game for today with the Farm Fresh Foxies facing off against the CHERY TIGGO EV crossovers. And you know, the Farm Fresh Foxies are still #1 in the serving department this conference, and the CHERY TIGGO knows and prepared for that. Jen Yarva mentioned that for their last game, masisipagan nila because they know their opponent's offense and service can come from anyone in their lineup. And for Jen, whose bread and butter is digging those strong attacks, she said, mas nararamihan ko yung patience sa sarili. I know I won't get all the balls, but ang importante ay hindi ako mawala sa role ko. Now let's see if that patience and sipag can shift the momentum in this game. Hi, man, Dr. AJ.
Thank you so much, Althea. Handang-handa si Jen for the camera doon. And that's 2 straight for Trisha Tubu.
Yeah.
Unable to get a point.
Going for that sharp cross-court angle. No check on the block of Argalang.
It's actually rare for her to get 2 straight.
Down the middle for Honey.
One blocker. The bad news there as Turing scores her first point. Tight to the net. Well defended by the Farm Fresh Foxies.
It was a good set coming from Bicar, fast enough for Argalang, but good read on the block.
This Tibay defensive play of the set is brought to you by Elastoseal, selyado ang bugong anumang panahon. Back to Galang, dug by Bertolano. Alohi from the opposite side, a wide opening in the middle there.
Trisha Tubu with that roll shot just on the middle of the CHERY TIGGO court. I'm noticing that Tubu is a little early in her approach, that's why she's not getting her maximum reach.
Error there by Rousseau. Something that always makes Coach Lodi go back and forth walking when he sees a service error. That's one thing I noticed, Doc AJ. Back to Tubu.
Once again with that power tip unanswered by the crossovers.
That has been the main move this entire conference. A move that has been unstoppable, really. Put down by Molina. Naiangat pa ni Verdaflor. We shall continue. Tubu na naman.
And that's 3 straight attack points for Trisha Tubu, now the leading scorer for the Foxies.
That's her 5th point of set number 1. Outside. Point number 9 for CHERY EV. And looks like we have a double substitution on the floor with Jazz Nabor and Jean Soreño. Looking to change things up here. Molina. Bump to Batista. Molina reloads. Galang. Molina will attack again. And now a chance ball for the Foxies. Alohi, the setup to the middle.
Yeah, Mega Rally ended with that error on the net. Cruz mistiming her approach.
Good block by Aragalang. Bump to the other side. Corner pocket wide open.
Jess Molina now joining the scoring tally for the Foxies. Her first attack point in Zone 5.
And a service ace for Trisha Tubu.
And the Foxies are really loading up on their services, getting the crossovers out of system in their first attempts.
Tubu now with 6 points. 6 of the 15 of Farm Fresh. Back row hit. Block breaker right there for Uni Batista.
And then Batista finally getting one in after a series of attempts. Now she moves up to the front.
Good float serve for Ara. Molina's hit was blocked, but they still get it back thanks to Alohi as they race to the second technical timeout first. Eliza Bertolano converted to a libero, and a fresh perspective. You know, Doc AJ, she was actually the one who requested to be converted into be a libero.
Well, coming from an open hitter in her career in the collegiate, she got the passing expectedly. She has the passing, but of course the defense, where to position yourself. She's been doing an amazing job with that, obviously.
Tubu sends it right back. A high set for Batista. Good hustle there.
Batista just using the arms of the blockers.
Speaking of Bertolano, that's what she's doing more now, diving. 1-2 play.
Robin Hardy with a height and the leap. Perfectly disguised 1-2 attempt.
It pays to be the tallest setter in the
Yeah,
PVL.
definitely. It helps with that reach to go for those 1-2 attempts.
And another ace for Farm Fresh. First ball problems here for CHERY EV.
And that's what Ces Molina mentioned in the pregame, that it's really the services that Coach Lodi is emphasizing for the team. So far, it's been tough for CHERY to really formulate their attacks.
Nabor, Batista from the open side and got a touch. Also 6 points on 5 attacks for Uni Batista.
So far, the lone bright star in CHERY EV. The other one with an attack point is Paat, but none yet from Gaston, Galang, or Maranyo.
Slide. Play continues. Alohi again. This time Verdeflor was ready for it. Alohi this time to Rousseau. What a dig by Verdeflor. But now a chance ball. Short slide for Turing, and she will get the point.
And Turing ends that rally. Galang and Vicar not communicating who will get that ball off the block.
Set up for Batista. Shoulder dig right there by Alohi. Paat, cross. A bump set for Rousseau. An adjustment. Why not?
Yeah, that kind of dig is what we call the chicken wing, where you use the elbow.
Service air though for Alohi. You know, Alohi has a lot of tricks. She had a set, one of the games I've covered, using her foot.
And it was a kill after that?
It was a kill by Rousseau after. Ellie. Perfection.
Back-to-back attack points for Ellie, who's getting a lot of help from other scorers like Turing, Tubu, Molina, and Cruz. Stark contrast with what's happening with CHERY EV, where most of the attacks are just coming from Batista.
Back set. We missed that.
A much-needed point from Mylene Paat.
(15 serving 21). Molina this time. Fireball right there. Everything working here for Farm Fresh.
Yeah, what a distribution by Alohi. Making sure that everyone is engaged with the attacks and not just Ellie Rizzo.
Janela now inside. And Pierre Abellana. Some backline defense here. Galang. Oh, almost by Jack Janela. It's the second point of Ara G. Speaking of Ara G, what a year she's had. Bagged an award. Molina going behind the blockers.
What a tip by Ces Molina. Just finding that perfect spot behind the blockers.
Two away for Farm Fresh. From the pipe, Batista bomb.
Uni Batista heavy duty, be it in the front line or the back row. Now she's up front again. Try to get some momentum coming into the second set.
That serve is too strong by Aragalang, which puts Farm Fresh at set point here. Out of system as Batista scraping the net, which puts Farm Fresh into a one-set lead here. A clean set for the Foxies. This point is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Team effort for Ces Molina and the Farm Fresh Foxies as they take set number 1. Efficient volleyball once again for the Farm Fresh Foxies as they get the job done in 22 minutes. Doc AJ, take us through that set number 1.
Yeah, definitely a dominant set for the Farm Fresh Foxies. Everyone is just really contributing in terms of the points. Cruz, Molina, Tubu, Turing, Russo, even Alohi are there in the scoring tally. They had some service aces and some block points, so it's generally a collective effort, not relying on just one player. Over on the other side, Cherry EV, Pat had 2, Galang had 2, but it's mostly Batista doing most of the attacking for the crossovers, and she tallied around 6 points, but there's so much attempts that her efficiency is not that high. As we can see, the attacks are just what the Foxies brought into set 1 dominant performance. Let's see what will be the adjustments for Cherry EV.
Leading scorer so far, Uni Batista with 7 and Trisha Tubu number 1 in efficiency with 6. Also some great service from Farm Fresh. Doc AJ, dito sa set 2, if Farm Fresh gets an error, I want you to just look at Coach Lodi.
Yeah.
Look at how many steps he will take in the volleyball court.
I actually want to hear his timeout because he's a very data-driven guy. Everything is by the numbers, and I think that's how everything should elevate in the league. And it shows why they're currently one of the top seeds in this tournament.
His timeouts are very entertaining. That's all I can say. Welcome to set number 2. Farm Fresh getting set number 1. Bicar, Batista has been hot. Tubu prepared to dig. Back row. Paat says, I'm right here to cover. Molina, where the floor has been everywhere. Batista on the counter. Back row Tubu, a little low. Had to adjust. Chang Abi slide. Long exchange to begin. And an off the block hit by Ces Molina.
Just with that first point, there were 10 spike attempts. That's how long the rally was. But Molina just ending it off the block.
Nabilang mo yun, Doc AJ. Galing. I was lost at 3 in the meantime. Another chance here for CHERY EV. Batista. She's been targeting Tubu. Galang was the target that time. Batista again was met by blockers.
Space to be tall. Batista just noticing that off the block attack. Perfect height above the net.
Tubu, almost. Last second save by Paat. Something Alohi does well.
Just quick to recognize that donut hole in the camp of CHERY EV.
Let's go to Althea Franco for her report. Althea?
After securing the first set, the Farm Fresh Foxies are off to a good start. And Jaime and Doc AJ, let's go back to our question earlier. Which reinforcement will show a show-stopping performance today? So let's talk about one of them, Ellie Rousseau, who's been an integral part of their team's performance this conference, just fitting in like a missing piece of the puzzle for the Foxies. And she said it's partly due to the enjoyment of playing with her team, but Ellie also shared that at this point they are feeling the pressure as they move forward to the quarterfinals, leaving no more room for errors. Now, what do you think about their performance so far, Jaime and Doc AJ?
So far, so good, Althea. But I like that part there. Althea mentioned they're feeling the pressure, and that's good. That is really good for Farm Fresh because there has been conferences they haven't felt that type of pressure, Doc AJ.
Yeah, this is the probably this is the first conference where they have a big target on their back because everybody is just watching them. Everybody is curious how they will perform every match.
Mylene Paat.
Back-to-back points for Mylene Paat, something that Bicart could consider more just to get some heat off Batista. She's been trying a lot in this set. 8 attempts, but just 1 conversion.
Some good saves for Farm Fresh. Batista breaks the barrier, and now CHERY has a 1-point lead.
Block not too pressed on the net for Cruz. Just enough space for Batista to squeeze in.
She has really turned things around in round number 2 of the preliminaries. Batista again. She was looking at Bicart. She's asking for higher sets.
Yeah. She's being rushed, and the blockers of Farm Fresh are doing a good job in touching her spikes.
You could feel the urgency still. I know no bearing game for CHERY, but for Uni Batista, you take a look at her talking to her teammates here. Paat finding a groove here, Doc AJ.
Yeah, 3 points for Pat on 3 attempts, 100% efficiency so far.
A reminder that she is one of the country's best here. Verde floor. Give it to the hot hand. But that time, well defended by Ellie Rousseau.
Ellie Rousseau has had enough of Mylene Pat in that attempt.
This Tibay defensive play of the set is brought to you by Elastoseal. Selyado ang bubong, anumang panahon. Coach Lodi. Nothing upsets him more, Doc H. I'm telling you.
Then a service error. How many steps did he do?
3 lang nun eh. from the middle this time. They tried to switch up. Cherry now with a 2-point lead.
Too sharp on the angle for Turing.
Rousseau just using the blockers. 6 points now for Ellie Rousseau. That's a hard serve. Mylene Paat deflected. Tubu. Power tip won't work. Galang from the other side. A down the line hit. Momentum now heading into the first technical timeout. Take a look at this one more time. That was the last hit by Ara Galang, and now a 2-point lead. Cherry playing with a lot more fire here, Doc AJ.
Yeah, and definitely Pat and Galang contributing. It's not just Batista doing the heavy work for them.
Tubu. Right off the technical timeout, a much needed point.
Trisha Tubu finally gets one in after 5 attempts in this set. But I'm still seeing that she's a little early in the approach. Parang hindi nagtutugma yung peak of the ball with the peak of her approach.
Not the best first ball there. They will make do with this Galang hit. Tubu again. Oh, yes.
Now that one is a much better timed approach for Tubu. You know it, if she gets the perfect timing, it's a bullet coming from her.
Just like this one from Trisha Tubu as we're tied at 8. CHERY TIGGO EV calls for time.
Whatever happens, sasarang dyan ang cross. Okay, naintindihan? Pero mas-stop lang natin to. Mas-stop lang din natin to, okay? Tara. Activate the middle para hindi masyado predictable na atake natin. Okay, let's go. Let's go, ha?
Clear instructions there from Coach Norman. Wants to see some middle attacks this time.
Yeah, Gaston Maraño hasn't contributed an attack point since set number 1, so it's asking Bicard to engage them more, or Nabor rather.
Chance ball after that shank pass. Tubu. Wow. Great timing there.
Just going for that signature power tip.
From the middle, Cruz. Alohi this time, sending it to Tubu, who got the fingertips.
Trisha Tubu making up for that previous error with that off-the-block attack against Batista.
Deadlock at 9. Joust. Alohi sending it to Ses. Batista scoring using Alohi's hands. And she is now at double figures.
Good recognition in the part of Batista. The block was not fully pressed.
Molina. Abby Maraño from the back row. Slide, Cruz had to reach. Maraño again. Great backline defense as Batista will score.
Batista has come alive here in set number 2. It's her 4th attack point. Alongside Pat with 3.
Maraño was in her libero era for 2 attacks. Well defended.
Molina just with that power tip right at the middle. So Rousseau moves in front. We're gonna expect a lot of points for her much needed ones.
Very sharp serve. Alohi went back row. Batista. Alohi this time, sending it to Rousseau. Verde floor, digging. Batista, binalik. Labor, back to Uni. Bertolano puts it up. And a chance ball now for Cherry. To the slide for Pauline Gaston.
And now point coming from the middle for Cherry. Batista has been getting a lot of the attempts. So it's a welcome rest for her.
Wow, Jas Nabor not giving an inch. The chase. And it is still in play, but Verde Flor sending it out of bounds.
Cherry TIGGO doing a much better job at making the Foxies work for every point compared to the first set.
Jazz kneeling set. An adjustment by Pauline. Well, after that timeout, the instructions were duly noted, Doc AJ.
Yes, definitely. Gaston with back-to-back points from the middle. As Cherry TIGGO maintains their lead.
They will improvise with Rousseau. Verde floor again. Toring. Verde floor will play secondary setter. Rousseau, oh my goodness. Verde floor has been doing it all. Rousseau one more time. You can see Ellie getting frustrated there. Back row Molina. Araji. Rally continues. Oh, ho, ho. A bit of creativity there by Alohi.
Yeah, well, the spikers have been frustrated with Verde Floor. As we say, tinatayuan lang yung mga palo, but Robbins Hardy has had enough. Might as well do the job.
From the middle. Nabasa ni Toring. And we are all tied up at 13. Bump set. Paat away from the net. Oh, wow! And Batista will score!
Yeah, Verdeflor did her homework on Rousseau. That's what we can say here in set number 2. She's just recognizing when she is going for those sharp angles.
And now she's getting a lot of love from her teammates. She is the main character here in set number 2. Tubu's tip was red. Galang off speed, saved by Alohi. Rousseau. That point felt good for Ellie.
Yeah, finally got one in. Verdeflor wasn't on the floor.
Paat. A well-timed block by Ces Molina.
Another denial against Mylene Pat. If the floor defense is working for CHERY TIGGO, it's the net defense that is working for the Farm Fresh Foxies now at 3 block points here.
Sharp serve. Abby Maraño, signature slide. Chance ball for CHERY. Nabor the set. Another slide. Maraño asking for a check.
The ball clipped the net instead, not the blocker.
And so we have a technical timeout. 2-point lead for the Farm Fresh Foxies.
He has been the kryptonite so far against Ellie.
So the score is 15, serving 16. I'm just impressed how CHERY TIGGO is coming out with a fight in their final game. Of course, Uni Batista wants to end with a smile on her face. Robbins Hardy. Back to Molina.
Molina going for that seam between Zone 5 and Zone 6. She knew that Verdeflor was just guarding the whole of Zone 5.
7 points for the veteran. Pipe attack. Uni Batista, I was about to say, has been a little silent.
Well, she's had some rest. As Pat, Gaston, and Galang were also contributing some points.
Oh, free ball given. Nabor looking to maximize this with Abby Maraño. Another try. Batista cross-court kill.
3 straight attack points for Batista as they tie the game, looking to reclaim the lead.
A clean and sharp down the line by Molina.
That's her signature attack, that down the line attack. Much needed breather for the Foxies.
Batista. She got a hand on that one.
Batista is on a rampage right now. She's unstoppable so far here in the latter part of set number 2.
Tied again at 18. Ball kept up. Good block at the net for Farm Fresh. Alohi. Molina. Paat using her shoulder. And we have a rally. Good reflexes there for Jazz Nabor. And a chance ball. Alohi. Good sweep by Abby Maraño. Batista with a put away.
What a scramble in the defense. Batista recognizing that there's no one on the back end of the court.
I am entertained in this set. And CHERY is too, as they have a 1-point lead. Coach Lodi calling a timeout.
Like one difference here. That position literally does not exist. It does not exist ever against nobody, okay? So, what are we gonna do? Yeah, right, but that's not new. That is not new. We are not assertive enough. We're too defensive, and as a result, this happens. Okay? So, we need to have a mindset of kicking ass. That's the mindset.
That's what I've been wanting to hear since the start of the match, the timeout of Coach Lodi. And they're being challenged right now compared to the first set. And what he's seeing is they're just on the defensive end. It's not making a lot of assertions.
Ces Molina. Maraño putting it up. Alohi to the slide. That has been a weapon of choice here for Robbins Hardy.
Finally gets one against the block of Batista.
Tied at 19. This time it's Coach Norman who will call a timeout. So let's listen in.
Bilis ng point na gano'n. Yan, hindi all the time gano'n. Or sometimes, tip, then set. Okay? Naintindihan ka lang mag-discard natin gano'ng situation. Oh, pasa tayo ha.
Import.
Yes. Import ka na. Oh.
Yeah, import na yun na dito. Tsaka C-Fuse.
Hindi, sige lang. Padaanin mo lang sa gilid ng block. Okay?
Wala lang! Sorry!
Tied at 19. We have a close one here. Nothing short of entertaining this set number 2. Service ace for Ces Molina.
Crucial point for the Foxies as they reclaim the lead now, 20 serving 19.
A service error after the ace. So it is a race to 5. Nabor now full front line to work with Batista and Paat in the front line. Oh, that's over. Could not capitalize. Rousseau will attack. She could not score.
Good recognition in the part of Pat. Set was a little short for Rousseau.
Great serve for Nabor. Rousseau, block breaker.
And it's another deadlock here. Now it's a race to 4 for both teams.
Batista. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Batista has been on a roll here in set number 2.
17 points already. And we are just in set number 2. Another chance here. Verdeflor. She will set up Paat. Molina, one-handed save. And Rousseau getting the point off a touch. That looked like it wasn't going
Yeah.
anywhere, but they still managed.
Yeah. So it was going out, but just clipped Nabor as the ball was going to land.
They try Gaston. Timing was well off there.
Risky move for Nabor, but CHERY TIGGO will challenge with the reaching beyond.
This is the first challenge in set number 2 and a crucial one. The challenge is unsuccessful. Point will go to Farm Fresh.
Did we have a challenge in set number 1?
Parang wala din.
Yeah, this is the first challenge of the match.
Once again, after this, we have Petrogas versus PLDT. PLDT also to stay locked in for first place. That is what Farm Fresh is trying to do in this game versus CHERY TIGGO. Reaching beyond. So the point stands. Alohi will serve with Tubu and Rousseau as options. And Alohi will have word here with our first referee. Service ace, and we arrive at set point.
Yeah, crucial service ace. They've been targeting Batista since the start of set 1 just to get her out of system, out of the equation.
Galang. 2 blockers, and she is unfazed.
Blocker not too pressed on the net. Just enough space for Galang to put the ball in.
Substitution on the floor. An important point there for Galang. Adorador makes an entrance in this match. But first, we have a timeout on the floor by Farm Fresh.
With your flat in a way that the ball doesn't break you. All right, so Adorador serving, okay? Yes, first of all, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. The priorities are always the priorities anywhere in life, okay? If the direction of the medium ball is more ball, okay? It's gonna serve that side, so let's reduce this space. Yeah, but it's possible.
Let's go, one now. Here, now.
24-23. Adorador tasked with an important serve here. They target Bertolano. Rousseau. Neutralized at the net. Paatatay. Good check. Bertolano to Rousseau for the finisher. This point is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. CHERY TIGGO giving Farm Fresh a scare there, but calm and composed, they take set number 2. After 32 minutes, a tight set number 2, 25-23 Farm Fresh. You like the composure there, AJ, because CHERY TIGGO played exceptional defensively, especially digging, pero they found their ways to win.
Actually, CHERY TIGGO is out-attacking the Foxies on that set number 2. Batista has really brought the bombs in set number 2 with getting some help from Pat, Galang, and Gaston, but the revelation on that set was the defense of Verdeflor, just really frustrating the attacks of the Foxies. Rousseau was able to get some crucial ones towards the end of the set to seal the deal for them. And Tubu was not as explosive as when she was in set number 1. Molina was good support for Rizzo, and Cruz was also there. But it's the blocking of the Foxies, especially from the latter part of the set, that really kept them afloat, retained the lead, and eventually that crucial service ace from Robbins Hardy helped them to close set number 2.
And one thing I noticed from the Foxies, they remained unfazed even if CHERY TIGGO was challenging them. And that's the type of composure you want heading into high-stakes game. Quarterfinals na nga on Monday.
Yeah, even looking at the huddle when they had the court switch, Coach Lodi and all smiles pa rin sila on the bench because they know that it's not the best of set for them, but they know that they can do better. On the other side, CHERY TIGGO coming in with better momentum here in set number 3. So let's see if they can still extend this match.
Farm Fresh, one set away from getting win number 7 here, and will be tied up with Zeus Coffee. But let's see if CHERY TIGGO could extend this match.
Nabor now the starting setter for CHERY TIGGO. Did an excellent job in the previous set. Batista was connecting more with her sets in that previous set. That's why she was able to tally in a lot of points.
First point for Farm Fresh.
Not the best of start for the crossovers.
Molina will serve here. Molina did a great job. She was the kind of the fire extinguisher as well for a point, right?
Yeah. And she was very efficient. No attack errors actually for Molina.
Bertolano, great defense. The switch up mid-air by Molina.
Just as we were highlighting her.
It's 10 points with double figures here for Ses. Slide. Could not find the right contact there.
Maraño was way underneath the ball, going for that roll shot to zone 5.
Uni, well defended. Cruz had to adjust. Batista one more time. Raso off speed.
Switch up in the tempo for Rizzo with that out of system play. He's catching everyone off guard.
Really good serve there for Molina. And a great dump by Jazz Nabor. CHERY gets on the board.
Back-to-back service errors for CHERY TIGGO.
5 serving 1 now. Batista challenging the double block. Rosso had to use her left hand. Galang will attempt from the back row. Alohi. Alohi this time will go that short slide they love to go to. And Batista finally scoring.
Batista putting enough power to make sure that the ball goes out of bounds.
They go out of system. Uni again. Straight to Molina. And the left hand works for Turing.
Not the best of attempts. Missed time by Turing. Ball was set a little too high also, but they get the point, and that's what matters.
Sometimes, Doc EJ, pag na-off yung timing, yung defense din mo off eh. May ganun, di ba?
Even the blockers. So sometimes it works to your favor, but Robbins Hardy sends the ball into the net.
And there's Coach Lodi.
Yeah, all the way at the end of the court.
Were you able to count the steps? That was around 10, right?
Yeah.
Tubu, in the meantime, down the line.
Haven't heard much from Tubu towards the end of set number 2, but this is a new set. Let's see how she will adjust.
You could tell by the toss.
Yeah,
Could not find her timing.
Yeah, it was tossed way far from her. She had to improvise with a broad jump.
Tubu, power tip. Won't work against Batista. Galang on the elevation. Toss up for Molina. Hit out. Point number 11. And technical timeout here. Farm Fresh Foxies up by 4.
Hyman, Doc AJ, so many deadlocks from that close set with the CHERY TIGGO really showing heart from that one, and that is what their captain Chang Abby Maranyo wanted to highlight in that previous conversation. They may be exiting early, but they want to exit with no regret, as we've seen from her enjoying this game from what her digs earlier. But Ces Molina's composure and efforts for the Foxies is surely stopping that, and if the CHERY TIGGO is determined to end their journey on a win, Farm Fresh wants to start their do-or-die quarters on a momentum. It may be a non-bearing game for Ces, but for her, a win is a win. Now let's see if this set will be a close one again, or the Farm Foxies will continue to end this game on a win. Now back to you, Jaime and Doc AJ.
Thank you so much, Althea. Well, loving that report. Two leaders. Can expect them to show up. That's an outside hit for Uni Batista. Outside there for Trisha Tubu.
"12 steps." I made sure to count. Because that's the third service error for the Foxies.
Good first ball. Molina, a lot of power.
Recognized a single block and just she has a strong down the line attack. So even if she forces the issue, it's gonna be a point for her.
Thank you said, they are making Batista receive, and they have taken her out of the equation.
By targeting the outside hitter, varies her approach, so she can wind up for her highest reach.
Wala namang problema kung nabablock eh. Continue lang tayo sa pagkuha ng bola kaysa namamatay ang kagad ay wala na talagang chance. Naintindihan? Go, go, keep it going.
Push tayo, in the end, ha? Let's go! Keep trying! Cherry!
On top! Bisa
Cherry calling time out there. This Tibay defensive play of the set is brought to you by Elastoseal. Selyado ang bubong, anumang panahon. Like my partner Doc AJ said, take her out of the equation by making her receive, and as simple as that, it's worked.
It just so happens that Molina is serving a really sharp float, just like that.
Joust. Uni. Three-man wall, no problem.
Making sure that she uses the block to her advantage. All paths were sealed, so might as well just tool the block.
Runner won't work. Batista. Another wall formed for the Farm Fresh Foxies.
Yeah, it's the block that really helped the Foxies in the second set, despite the rampage of the attacks from Cherry TIGGO. But that triple block, no angle left for Batista.
Lead back to 5. Abeliana now. Serve and sweep here. Alohi Robbins Hardy trying to catch them by surprise. Yes, she does.
You know, once again, that sharp float going to zone 5, making it easy for the Foxies to get a better first ball, or an easier first ball.
Another great serve for Pierre Abellana. Batista above the block. The dolphin dive by Abellana. Rousseau was already pointing to a defender. Good first pass by Molina. A little tight there for Turing. Rousseau from the left pin. Mylene Paat neutralized. Ellie Rousseau.
Finally gets one in against Verdeflor. I was waiting for her to go for a cross-court spike. And it's a success.
Right there. A high set. Enough for a bomb.
Yeah. And it's landing way in front of Verdeflor. She's on a good position, but it's just Rousseau hammering it down.
There's only so much she can do against Ellie Rousseau. Still at the front line. Paat trying to switch things up. Blockers present for Batista. Uni one more time.
Gets the fingers off the blockers. Yeah. Catches the pinky of Fudu.
21 points for Batista. Quick and strong from Turing. What a way to send us to a technical timeout. Ongoing rally here. Galang above the block. Bump set Paat. Off speed hit. Tubu. That is just what you call hang time.
Yeah, I was about to say it. Just it helps if you're that explosive, get a lot of hang time. Once again, she was early in her approach, but just enough leaping power.
You don't always see that, Doc, no man. Double clutch power
Yeah.
tip.
Fourth service error for the Foxies here in set number 3, but they're still in a comfortable lead. Janela is back for Rizzo.
First ball has been steady for the Foxies.
And Turing has really made an impact here in set number 3. 3 out of 6 attempts, really good 50% efficiency. Tubu is also there with Molina. So the Foxies really just playing more efficient in the attack here in set number 3.
Oh, good one-handed save by Robbins Hardy. Galang.
Aragalang putting enough power so that Janela wasn't able to reach that.
Vicar is back in. She was the starter. Along with Jean Soreño on that double sub. Good timing there for Chang Abi. Galang, yes!
Back-to-back attack points for Aragalang. Also credit to that dig by Verdeflor. They're inching closer.
Galang again. She finds the spot.
3 straight attack points for Aragalang. And now the lead is just down to 5.
When all else fails.
Signature Trisha Tubu move. Power tip.
Bump set towards the hot hand. Ball kept in play. One more chance. Soreño getting her first point in the match. No look dump, will not work. Dig too strong, and Batista with a put away.
Defense of the Foxies and scrambles right now, and CHERY TIGGO quick to capitalize on it. The whole timeout, Coach Lodi was just on cruise as the team moves for a huddle. From an 8-point lead now just down to 4.
CHERY TIGGO with a heartbeat here, down by 4. Batista. Alohi sends it back to Molina. A beautiful dig by Araji. Binalik. Bicar will bump it. Back to Batista. Ball is still live. Molina with a power tip. Verde Flor with the reflexes. Verde Flor again saving it. Alohi the set. Back to Molina. Long exchange. Batista. And a chance ball for CHERY TIGGO. From the middle, soft touch. And the point will go to the crossovers.
Mega rally ended by the crossovers. What a remarkable defense from Verde Flor once again. Now just down to 3. Emergency button coached by Coach Lodi, bringing in Rousseau.
Biggest lead, Doc, was at 8. They have
points.
cut this lead down to 3. Batista with the block. Don't look now, it is down to 2. Easily read by Uni Batista. And Coach Lodi has seen enough. Timeout, Farm Fresh.
Chance to start over. Okay, we know the situation, we know the deal. Okay, got it? Opposite volleyball mentality, yeah? All right, good luck.
Let's go! Ale, energy. Yes. Side out. 1 point. Ha? Sorry, coach. We go again! Out!
No signs of panic from the Farm Fresh Foxies. But momentum on the side of Uni Batista and CHERY EV. Once again, biggest lead was at 8. Right on cue, pamatay sunog, says Molina.
Says Molina after struggling for a bit with her attempts. That's her 4th attack here in set number 3.
Batista was asking for it. Rousseau will send it over. Batista got the line.
It was toward the latter part of set number 2 when Batista became really unstoppable.
Rousseau. Bring it on.
That one just really, it was all pent up when she was out. When Janela was in court to sub her, all that energy was pent up for that attack.
Tough set. And Soreño just manages to score another lifeline here.
Quality substitution for Coach Norman. It was when Soreno and Vicar were inside when they made that run. Even Soreno chipped in 2 points.
Eli Rousseau again, sending it wide right.
And going for the sharp angle, and just like that, 1 point lead.
Not the best of receives. Out of system. Ball deflected. Attack by Batista was dug by Bertolano. Eli na naman. Batista keeps asking for it. That is why. We are all tied up at 21. Sabi ng Cherry, Doc AJ, sulitin na natin bago magbakasyon.
Well, it's their graduation.
Perfect spot for Turing to locate.
4 out of 7 attempts for Turing. Really, really good efficiency here in set number 2. They have a stacked front line now that Trisha Tubo is up front. Full lineup, full front line also for CHERY TIGGO.
Blockers ready. So they send it to the other side. Alohi. Counter, Tubu. Batista. What a save by Ces Molina. Chance ball for CHERY. From the middle. Batista is rejected. And off the block for a clutch point by Mylene Paat.
You gotta admire the coverage of the floor for the CHERY TIGGO. Crossovers. And Paat just putting enough power against the block.
Race to 3. Batista now in the back row here. Bertolano was the target. Tubu. Bertolano will play setter. Rousseau, blockers were a little late. But it doesn't matter. And don't look now, CHERY TIGGO has the lead.
After trailing by as much as 8 points, now they've taken over and just 2 points away from extending this match.
Timing was right there for Rousseau and Alohi.
Just enough power to redirect the ball out of the reach of Verdeflor.
Oh, this is also a great test for Farm Fresh. Finishing out close sets, race to 2. Steady receive, Galang for the lead.
Galang was spectacular in her previous frontline rotation, and just continuing on that.
That was actually when the momentum started, though.
Yeah.
Ara G at the left pin.
Yeah.
good things started to happen after.
Now Russo is back
Serving for the set, Saya
in the
Adorado.
rear.
This is to extend the road trip. They go Tubu. Batista could not reach it, and so we will extend set number 3.
Score now tied at 24. The third set is now 26. Serving, CHERY.
Galang brings it on.
Galang just playing really efficient. Attacking here in set number 3. 5 out of 10 attempts. No errors. Very commendable 50% efficiency.
Set point again for CHERY. Molina. Out and away it goes.
What a set coming from Robbins Hardy. The shoot to the pin. Molina was just there with a perfect timing.
25 all. Almost. Galang na naman. Dump. Great defense for Verdeflor. Alohi this time goes to Molina. Off speed was red. From the pie, Batista with a put away.
Floor defense really just working for the crossovers. Not letting any of the ball go down. And Batista just quick to finish it from the pipe.
27 points for Batista in 3 sets, Doc. So her version of a back row hit.
With some help from the net to redirect that ball. Now she's up front.
Uni, 3 blockers meeting her. This one away from the net. Oh yes, 28 points.
Just hitting it high enough. Go above the block.
So undiggable.
Just a lot of firepower, high above the blockers. I know he will be able to take that perfectly.
A bump set. One team asking for a check and a review. The other team claiming there is none. Thank goodness we have cameras.
Yeah, crucial challenge at that. Probably the first here in this set, right?
Yes. Usually the latter stages. Great set number 3 so far. Uni, Batista, Doc, AJ. Past 2 games averaging 34 points. Here in 3 sets with 28.
2 points short to make it like 10 for every set.
No block touch.
That is perhaps the most crucial point of the match. Farm Fresh finally back on the lead. Now at match point.
Batista, dug by Cruz. This could be for the win. Not yet, says CHERY. There is a challenge. Floor touch.
They were celebrating already with that roll shot from Rizzo.
Now the biggest challenge yet. Interesting to see there. Here we go. There is a floor touch. And the Farm Fresh Foxies win it. They get their 7th win. And hats off to CHERY TIGGO, saying goodbye to this conference, fighting.
They graduate on a high note, definitely, even if the match is not theirs. But what a performance.
This point is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Was so in the clutch. And now Farm Fresh will patiently wait to see who will be the winner of Petrogas and PLDT. And right after that game, we'll see the seedings.
Yes, definitely. That's the more exciting part of this quarterfinals. Who will face who?
So we get to see more of Eli Rousseau on Monday. That is when the quarterfinals will start. And for the CHERY TIGGO EV crossovers, gotta give it to Uni Batista for this game. I mean, 28 points, but in 3 sets.
3 sets. Just too short para maging 10%, but also for the floor. Like, what a performance in this match. Gave a lot of fright for the spikers of the Farm Fresh Club.
So a lot to build on. This is the receipt of that Farm Fresh win. 35 minutes extension in set number 3. It was entertaining. And you know what? We'd love to hear from Uni Batista, who will say her goodbye. She is with Althea Franco.
Hi, Mandoc AJ. We're here with Uni Batista of CHERY TIGGO. And Uni, this is your last game. And I want to ask you, what were your best moments all throughout this conference?
My best moment is just when I go to drink coffee with my teammates. This is my best moment.
Oh, and of course, I want to ask you, what will you miss the most from the Philippines?
The food.
Yes, the food. I've heard that answer and a lot. And of course, since this is your last game, we want to ask you, who do you want to greet and do you want to say thank you to your fans?
Yeah, sure. I want to say thank you, first of all, my teammates, my coaches, the staff, the management from CHERY TIGGO, all the fans. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the trust. The things didn't go in how we want, how we expect, but for sure my team fight to the last moment.
Once again, what a great performance, Uni, and we hope to see you soon back here in the Philippines. Now, we'll be back for more after this break.
Player of the game. It's giving like chill tayo sa Parkal. Ganyang get-up. Fourth ball. Acting out. Fourth ball. Fourth ball. Alam mo yung parang Farm Fresh Foxies, a close 3 sets. CHERY TIGGO EV crossovers giving them a challenge, and this Babad Player of the Game is brought to you by Devant. Enjoy unforgettable TV Babad moments with your family only with Devant. And Doc AJ, your choice is Alohi Robbins Hardy.
Yeah, very good distribution for Robbins Hardy all throughout since set number 1. Everyone was very much engaged in the attack, and she also contributed some points, be it in the attacks and also some crucial service aces.
She is with Althea Franco. Althea, take it away.
And we're back here with our player of the game, Alohi Robbins Hardy. And of course, 24 excellent sets, 7 points. And I want to ask, it was a close fight. What was on your mind, and what do you think are the key elements of that win?
For us, I think just pushing through each point and taking deep breaths, especially for me, to reset. Shout out to CHERY TIGGO. They're an awesome team. They fought and they really battled. So yeah, shout out to them.
And of course, you'll ride the momentum of this win going into the quarterfinals. Now, what do you think? Are there more room for improvement? What do you want to see going into the do-or-die matches?
I think not being absolutely perfect, but I think striving for that and being a lot more steady throughout the match, no matter what, how many sets, 3, 4, 5. I think we just got to keep working to be steady.
And of course, lastly, do you want to greet your fans and say thank you to them?
Yes, shout out to all the fans. Thank you so much for coming. Happy birthday, Nicaela Clark. And please keep coming out. Quarterfinals, semis, finals, and even the bronze medal match. Please, please, please. And thank you.
And once again, we're here with the player of the game, Alohi Robbins Hardy. And now, back to you, Jaime Doc AJ.
Thank you so much, Althea, and congratulations to Alohi. Let's take a look at the match highlights, but a great simulation of what to expect in the quarterfinals here for Farm Fresh.
Yeah, definitely they were off to a really dominant start in set number 1 and set number 2, but just a little dip towards the end of the set, but that's something that for sure they will correct coming into the quarterfinals.
Take a look at some of the highlights here. Job well done for Uni Batista. We won't be surprised if we see her again, but for the Farm Fresh Foxies, they will await once again who their opponents will be and who else to lead them but Ellie Russo. Our match statistics, Doc AJ.
As we can see here, the Farm Fresh Foxies definitely out-attacking CHERY TIGGO crossovers. More than half of those attacks coming from Uni Batista for CHERY EV, but Farm Fresh Foxies was more of a collective effort. They had more blocks, more aces, and that is what really kept them afloat towards the crucial parts of the sets.
All right, win number 7 for Farm Fresh. They are waiting once again for the winner of this matchup. PLDT also looking to stay at 7-1, keep in step as the Petrogas Angels looking for some momentum heading into the quarterfinals. We love Coach Lodi, and we will see him more in the quarterfinals along with Ellie Russo. But for now, it is time to say goodbye to Aragalang and Chang Abi. We will see them next year. For our director, Ken Natividad, our courtside reporter, Althea Franco, my partner, my Fitspiration, Doc AJ Pareja, my name is Jaime Escalon. Thank you for watching, supporting the 2025 PVL Reinforced Conference. This is the heart of volleyball.